DFCRadio.com.
Welcome.
It has been a minute since we've heard that tune. We've been out of studio for the last couple shows.
I'm enjoying it again. I mean, I
Oh,
always
yeah.
do, though.
It's all about the atmosphere. Oh, yeah.
Think, Rocky?
No.
I don't know if it's live.
Just not saying anything, huh? Your mic's not on? No. Rocky's out today. You're going to have to deal with the Dutch Master and the free sampler for this evening's broadcast here on DFCRadio.com.
We got a lot to catch up on.
Yeah,
We
the
got some
plug
great stuff
gaming
coming
has got a lot to talk about. We got actually
man.
some of our favorite, my favorite, I guess, Destiny 2 stuff coming up.
up. No, you gave me a good opportunity.
So yeah, exactly. So maybe
tell
it'd be
you
your
all
favorite
about it.
again because it was your favorite at the time. Saint always played. So
All about the Destiny 2.
Hey, it was playing solo that made me fall off. So
I know, and I've just been playing solo.
and I know what that's like. So I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it's been fine on PC. It's been
sorry.
fine. It's been fine on PC because the added boost of like the visuals and stuff just kind of make you want to play it.
Yeah.
But we're going to talk about that, and then also the new game Dauntless. We're going to talk about that. We've been playing that as well.
How many millions of players did you say?
There was 5 million like this first week that it was out, and it's only been out for 2 weeks. So like I don't know if it's going to
I read about how there were only 5 streamers left on Anthem.
Yeah, Anthem's been having a hard time, and like that's funny thing is that you bring those up together, or that you bring that up and talk about Anthem, because I originally said EA Origins was their launcher on PC was doing it right and was going to be able to attract other developers by having the free to play Apex Legends and then Anthem on their launcher, which would force people to use it, right? Mm-hmm. And then that would force people, not force them, but that gives you more traction and like advertisement capability of like, people seeing. So it's a good place to put your game.
Yeah.
But Epic Launcher, Epic Games has been doing really good. They got Borderlands 3 over there. A lot of people are forced to buy their game via that launcher.
An easy transition.
And then now you have
already
Fortnite.
playing.
So now you have Fortnite on Epic Games launcher, free to play game. So you're just naturally freely attracting people to your game launcher where you can make advertisements for your games if you're a developer. And then now you have Dauntless, which hits on these two genres that kind of blend and mix a lot of other genres together. So you get a wide player base that come from a lot of different origin points.
Yeah.
But they like that competitive game, or they like shooters. So then you're playing Fortnite. You like that open world, free to roam, kind of do what you want and pace yourself, but also get into quests.
Sort
and
of wander, sort of objective, like
Dauntless, right? So they meet both of those for free.
Yeah.
So you're in the launcher, and then you're like, oh, I want to buy a game, and you're not going to Steam anymore. You're going to just go into Epic Launchers and see, Epic Games Launcher and see who's on,
They're taking over.
But it's a great recipe to start that. Two really good, pretty high quality games. The graphics are obviously brought down a little bit. It's made inside their Epic Games engine, Unreal Engine. So they're really just capitalizing on these, in the widest capacity possible. And then now they're going to open up their business even more by Borderlands 3 coming along board and having their game published there. And whoever else is getting on board with that. So Supergiant already does too. The creators of Bastion.
That does mean too, like
the creators of Bastion, they made Hades, which is their new game. It's on there as well.
Every one of these games you're talking about, cross-platform is a much easier option.
It looks like it's going to be something that's happening. Yeah, like Borderlands 3 is.
Epic Games is kind of covering that ground, I think, really well right now. Fortnite is I mean, you can
It's a
date
gateway drug.
exactly. Yeah,
Fortnite's a
But
gateway drug.
Fortnite. You can date Fortnite to the moment that like cross-platform finally broke,
Yeah, it's true.
and Epic Games is just taking up on that further. Dauntless was cross-platform from the moment it launched.
Right. Yeah, so that's became official. Fortnite is a gateway drug to the video game world.
Welcome.
It will, yeah. It's
One
just,
and all.
it will ruin your life too if you're not careful. There's tons of stories about it.
Just
Divorce,
like any
divorce,
hobby.
rage quits that and result in damaging all your high end and expensive equipment. Monitors lost, controllers lost, keyboards smashed. You can only imagine, right? Relationships ruined, friendships. Marital relationships ruined.
Amateur stuff.
You hate to see it happen, but it does. But no, that's what they're good at. That's what they've been doing. It seems like Dauntless is on that same kind of track for the other side. The not so competitive people of the world that like I just want to play video games for like that original kind of feeling that we already all got in it for, that ability to be somewhere else in a different world, experiencing that, kind of manipulating that world for our own enjoyment, and that's what they're offering on that side. That's what Dauntless is. You're slaying monsters. It's like Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
and that's
what you
like
get with it.
That's the quest of it, but like it is really easy to play game and fun.
If you did try Monster Hunter, because a lot of people did try it, it grew immensely right in the beginning,
Correct.
and then it settles down into like, the smaller core community that continues playing it. But for those that got into it and it was a lot, because it's a heavy investment to get into Monster Hunter, especially when you're dealing with, all the item planning and all that. Like
so much. If
the
you want to
amount
do
of
it
time
right,
I
so
put
much,
into
yeah.
just customizing my little side mini bar, my quick bar,
Yeah.
so I could have items right where I need them.
Right. But when Iceborne comes,
Yeah.
you'll be ready.
It's like so this is a simpler version of that in a lot of ways. So you don't have to invest so much. I took a break for a week, came right back, didn't feel lost at all.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, Dauntless is good for that for sure. Do we want to hop into some gaming news?
Let's start with what you've been gaming on.
Yeah, let's start with what
else?
we've been
we
gaming
got stuff
on.
we're going to be talking, but like
I actually was playing Mortal Kombat 2
two.
over the weekend. Mortal Kombat 2, yeah.
All right.
Like 1, 2.
Classic system plugged in.
Yeah, Super
emulator.
Nintendo.
What were you playing
Super
on?
Nintendo.
But it was through your Super Nintendo.
Yes, actual SNES.
I just wanted to check. That's
yeah.
awesome.
Oh yeah, we did it old school, and like.
Who's Royce Maning?
Royce didn't play. Royce didn't play. We didn't let him play the Mortal Kombat. But me and my buddy who played Mortal Kombat like religiously, like in the arcade on we played on Sega, but we couldn't get past the third guy for like an hour. And like I'm like not bullshitting you. We like the first couple times we're like yeah, and then like the fifth time we're like, dude, it's fucking Raiden. Like he is the cheesiest dude in the fucking thing. He just blocks, and literally like the AI on it like knows it's like you hit low kick, he's gonna duck and block.
Yeah.
And you're like, it's the response time is unreal, and to think that we were kids and younger, we would fly through that shit.
Oh man, but that's because like that's
It was
the only
insane.
game we were playing for months.
I know, but it was insane to like get that feeling of like, dude, it's like. But like, was it that hard at first? And then like we just played so much that we were just like, you know what I mean? So much more graceful with the
awesome,
the thumbs though. I mean, it just seems like those like especially the fighting games, like it wasn't even all that different of like the button combinations. It's actually easier combinations to do than you have to do now, but like it was way harder.
Well, that's because
and
now
I feel
you've
like it was
got,
the AI though. I feel like
stances and extra forms, and like I've played Mortal Kombat 11.
yeah.
And
But I feel like the AI,
ages more.
the AI though, the
Yeah.
artificial intelligence of that is so much more sophisticated. It's trying to learn you from such a different aspect.
Oh,
than
like from
than
11,
from like
yeah.
well, then from Super Nintendo version where it's just like learning you from two aspects. It's like, what does he hit first, up or down? Okay, is it high punch or low punch?
Yeah.
Because he's like, I'm just blocking and then going that direction. You know what I mean? Like, it's so much more basic. And they can end your
more that
route
classic,
so much quicker.
You're like finding out their patterns,
Yeah.
and then you know how to handle them. So it's like stage 3. It was like everyone would have to know how to beat the first level, then the second level,
Yeah.
then try to figure out 3 on that turn, and then
Right.
you wait for everybody else.
Right.
Like I used
exactly.
to. I had like one of those after school programs,
Right.
and one of the counselors would bring his Sega in, and
Right,
that's how
yeah,
we
yeah.
would play.
Yep.
And
That's
so,
probably
like,
illegal, but yep.
Oh, we're talking the 90s, man.
No, I know. It's still was probably illegal in the 90s.
Today,
It's
that's
just no one
next.
say anything. Yeah, today. That's the
Anyways,
difference. The difference
that's how
between the
I got to
90s
play
and now
some,
is people
but-
just say shit. Okay, nowadays people say
And,
things
like,
and they're
I
like, you got to
mean-
speak up. And it's like, yeah, when you see somebody discipline their child or like some 9-year-olds playing Mortal Kombat, you don't need to
The
speak up.
graphics on that stuff was nothing compared to
Yeah,
what
like
TV
you couldn't
had,
even,
yo.
we were realizing you couldn't even see their face. Like you couldn't even see
Yeah.
Baraka's face.
They were
Like
little pixels.
it was like he would like turn and face it, and you're like, it's just a smudge of like the couple different colors
Yeah.
and 2 white spots for his eyes.
But either way, it was like you were figuring out the patterns, and then it was like that's how you built your way up, and you even did it as a group. It was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
I like that. Those were the classic pass and plays.
Yeah, exactly. And it was a good pass and play too. It was just really arcade style.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was really good though, but we were realizing that and we were just like kind of like trying to take it down to what it was. What was the reason? And it was like certain characters they just knew, like it was not even like an AI thing. It's like the game knew you pressed down, and then so he prepared his block that way by just pressing down before, and then it's like it doesn't matter what you hit after because I'm blocking now. You know what I mean? Like you're
You
like,
always got to have one of those.
yeah, and it's like Raiden was that guy, and Reptile was really bad for some reason, and like Reptile wasn't usually bad like that. So
And
it's
Raiden
like,
had the teleports.
but Raiden was always bad, and Kung Lao.
Like
Kung
across the
Lao and
screen.
Raiden are the worst. The cheese masters. They're like Zangief in Street Fighter, where he just is constantly blocking, and then grabbing, so you can't block. So you're like, oh, I'm gonna block. I'm gonna do what he does, block. So he throws you. You're like, what the fuck, dude? Come on, it's not that smart.
It's all about those down
It's like,
airs.
no, you're just not that smart. Like,
It's all about those down airs.
yeah, exactly. That's what you start employing. You just start jump kicking over and over again. Don't let him get up.
Yeah.
But yeah, what about you? Sam? What you been gaming? on?
So I've been playing this crazy game called For the King.
Right.
It's
You showed me that?
Yeah, it's a digital board game. You're going on a like D&D style campaign. You've got those types of characters, but they're all town folk in the story. So like you're playing the woodcutter, and that's your guy who's good with like 2-handed weapons. So
Yeah.
fun game.
Yeah,
I
so
put
like
in a
and you were
good-
saying like a herbalist is like your healer, so
Yep.
it's like, and they don't, instead of having the more mystical or mysterious name, you're just like a more practical.
Yeah,
like,
but
this
it's
guy's
all
an
magic.
herbalist. He might
It
have
is
some-
like magic based,
Yeah.
and then so
Right.
you also have like
right, but this is the naming convention.
yeah,
It's
you
a
have
little
the
bit different in
minstrel
that
that's
regard.
going to be plays music, your bard,
Okay.
and the bard class is really cool in this game. I've been enjoying that a lot.
Nice.
You can unlock more classes later on. I'm a big fan of the hobo class. They got to throw one of those in there, just like Dark Souls.
Nice.
The useless, no stats, no special abilities.
But
Mm-hmm.
ultimately can be more customizable and
It's kind of fun that way.
Yeah.
I started my second campaign that way with
Nice.
3 hobos
nice.
because
Yeah, and then you can kind of take them any direction you want, like Final Fantasy.
see
used to
how it
have
goes,
something
too,
like
yeah.
that, where they were like, "Do you want to do the automated or manual, like tree?"
yeah.
And basically, the auto tree would take the character into like what he was supposed to be, like from their standpoint.
Yeah.
And then the manual one, you could just like literally, I could make my my guy that was supposed to be a sentry that was going to just original stats are to take damage and attract people,
Yeah.
taunt people and stuff
And
like
you can
that.
force them in any direction you
And I
want.
can
And there's
force
plenty
them
of
into, like, a
markets in this
healer.
game.
Yeah.
And really it's all just based on what you pull
Right.
in the RNG of like the weapons in this world.
See, like that,
And there's a decent amount.
those kind of things come standard in games now. Where like that was like revolutionary. Like, damn, they let you choose manipulate your class. Like before, you're like, no, he's a
And
healer.
this one is very deep class building. It's got tons of stats.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's standard.
Everything matters.
And that's on Switch, right?
Yes, it's on all the consoles.
On consoles, okay, but you're playing it on
and it's
Switch.
on PC.
On
I'm
Switch.
playing it on Switch
And
right now.
And it plays well?
I haven't tried online with people yet, but you have an entire online mode too, where like you each control a character, and they even have like competitive campaigns or regular campaigns or just like a straight dungeon rush. But like, sorry, what did you ask me?
I was asking you that just like it's out for all consoles, but like that it plays well on Switch.
It plays just fine on Switch.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, it has a low frame rate. I'm sure all the consoles do, but the thing is, it doesn't matter because it's like a board game.
Right.
And it's got like more pixelated
And
graphics, but that's what's really pretty about the game.
Yeah, that's super
and
important.
And you get into the stats, you get into the items. There's
Yeah.
actually like a lore store outside of the campaigns that you unlock more things.
Okay.
Like more events, more markets, more characters. So I had to unlock the hobo.
Okay, yeah, right. But that's cool. It gives you this progression that also not only like advances the story of the game, but it includes into a more complete experience with like now I get the hobo, so I can play with more of that, and then you start your new campaign, and then it's active
and like
ready
you are
for
visiting towns.
It encourages replay
you have
as well.
random events that are happening. Your characters have to stay apart from each other, but like if you're too far apart from each other, you won't help each other in combat. So it's like always a control of that, and then you're going to dungeons, you're picking up side quests. Yeah. It's a very full Dungeons and Dragons-esque campaign, or just like any board game full campaign like that, where you're developing characters in an RPG form, like
and then it also gives you that board game feel when you're in like the open world
exactly.
traveling.
But it's digital. It's got some animations.
Right.
It's goofy. It's got like the fight scenes look cool. The dungeon raids are really cool.
Yeah, it's a really good.
It's a different experience each time you run it, because a lot of it's random.
Merge.
Even like you roll for how many spaces you get to move.
Right. That's cool.
And so it's a fun game in all of that regards. It's a fun board game, and you could actually play it with other people.
We used to play a game like that called Major Knights, where you'd actually get like a physical character and a map that you'd lay out. You could build your own, and then you'd roll for your spaces, and then you'd roll for your hits. And then you had a dial that you would base the numbers off of, and if you rolled the differences, then you would hit or whatever.
Yeah.
And it could be more powerful. But it was totally board game. It was super cool. You got the characters, so you had to get packs and get these packs, and then luckily get like your characters to even build like an actual team of like one kind of peoples, and then like they all had a. For instance, there was the undead, there was the dead, and then like you could get a bunch of dead characters, but like they weren't really dope. They were cool, but they were super doper if you got the necromancer.
Yeah.
So you can get the necromancer. If you get the necromancer and you roll with him, and they're surrounding him, his like stats all get boosted and everything. So like, it was really
cool.
Just like in that same category.
Yeah.
But like now, it's in a new age. We got that digitally, and it's actually so much more detailed and
there's a board game you're reminding me of.
Yeah, there's just way more to it, but it was kind of based off of I can't remember what it was called, but it was like even like Magic even to it.
Yeah.
But it was like card play.
Did you ever play Munchkin?
Yeah, we've talked about it before.
I'd almost use classic Munchkin as a good example.
We've talked about it before.
And that's what this is digital Munchkin in a way, and it's everything about it's kind of cute. Everything develops. You can unlock more items you can get in the world. I put in a good 10 to 15 hours in the first campaign run through.
Nice.
Just checking it out, trying things out, and there are 4 full campaigns. There's one of those is like a co-op, but like competitive co-op mode.
Okay. You were telling me, you said something about that too. So, like,
They
what is that,
have-
like a point based? Like, if you defeat
I'm not
somebody
sure
in a time,
because I haven't tried any of the online
time
yet, but,
or damage or something. Like
there's
that?
already like a subreddit for it, so I figured I could find a group on there one day and just spend the whole time doing that. I like it for the slow pace. I like it for like you could turn it on, turn it off, back out whatever you want. It's just a board game you could pick up that runs slow.
And those it's great for the Switch too because the Switch is
portable. That's
and,
what I
and
use
it's
it for.
kind of always staying on too, though.
Yeah.
Like it just is going into sleep mode.
Exactly.
And that's where it's conserving its
My
battery
screen's
the
off.
best.
I open it right now. It's
Right.
going to be right where I left off
Exactly.
before the King.
Right. Exactly.
And the game does have a long startup load, but once you're in it, it runs fine.
Okay.
It's got a slow frame rate, but the game is like.
But it's like not fast paced enough for the frame rate to
exactly. And there have been complaints of crashing. I experienced a few crashes over the course of the first campaign.
Okay.
But whenever I logged back in, it was on the turn it crashed on. So
Oh,
I
so
didn't
it's-
lose anything.
Okay.
So
I
all in
mean,
all,
yeah,
it was a
yeah,
great
yeah,
game.
you
It's
can't-
$25
you
for
can't complain
Switch.
about that.
I don't know what
you
it costs on other things, but really fun, especially if you like those like long campaigny type board games. This is that where you can play a whole campaign by yourself or with other people.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty dope. Pretty
That
dope.
like I put a lot of time in on that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit of gaming news, and then we'll take a break and come back and hit these two games, Dauntless and D2?
Yeah. Let's.
What do you want to talk? Some E3?
Dude, we got 2 whole weeks of E3 of this show coming up.
There's
Let's pump the brakes.
Okay,
Let's
so
pump the brakes.
what?
You guys gonna come back?
Okay, yeah, we do. But
We got-
I just want to talk
we got
about one
2 weeks
thing.
out,
One
yeah.
thing from E3. AMD
Okay.
is supposed to be releasing like I don't really get it, and a lot of people don't get it. But I think it
Talking
might
like
be
ray
because like
tracing.
yeah. So it's gonna have ray tracing capabilities, the Navi. But no, they're supposed to be releasing the release date of the Navi, which is like the most anticipated thing from AMD. I'm gonna be regardless. I'm waiting till like August to see what's up because there's no mining craze anymore, so people won't just be buying them up.
Yeah.
But it's like E3's the place for announcement. It doesn't make a lot of sense, and maybe they're tying it into the PlayStation 5 somehow. But Sony's not even gonna be there. But Sony's not gonna be there.
Maybe that's the surprise.
Maybe Sony's gonna be like there, kind of with them.
And then,
But it's just weird because it's
and
like,
then
why
someone's
is
gonna be hiding
why
under
is-
a box,
yeah, but
just
why
like all
is, like-
Snake style, and
Yeah.
then they the whole time,
He's
and
just
then as soon
moving,
as
yeah.
and then as soon as they talk about PlayStation, he just
yeah, like Metal Gear,
And the
new Metal Gear
exclamation
Solid
point,
on
yeah.
PlayStation 5.
with
yeah.
the AMD. If we just predicted
so
that,
I-
that'd be the most amazing
it
E3
would, it
prediction
would.
ever.
But dude, like I'm not sure what's going on with that. Like it
Okay,
seems like
okay.
E3 is kind of weird in a weird place because now we
Yeah.
talked about the weird things that are happening with
Nintendo's just gonna own it easy because they don't have to try.
and they do,
hard,
but they do a great job every
You know
year.
what? I
That
think,
is, it's like almost worth it to go see the Nintendo.
What do you think the
section.
big section's gonna be? Because I think it's Animal Crossing.
Okay, they like to do Animal Crossing. That's a
Oh,
good
that's
one.
because we have the new one coming
yeah,
out,
right. They
and
like to do
everybody's
that one.
curious about what it's gonna be about.
Yeah,
But like,
that's a good one. That's a good one.
I'm curious. What do you think they're gonna do for multiplayer? Did you ever play those games?
No, I didn't play.
I
a
did
lot
not
of them.
either, but I have friends who obsess over them, and I love.
They love Animal Crossing.
Well, they're
I
like
know
a good
that.
farming
I mean,
type game.
Exactly.
They're a
no,
good
I know.
town,
I know
you're
exactly
going-
what
yeah.
it is.
It's a
I
social
played.
game.
I played one.
Simsy, it's cute.
Yeah,
as hell.
I played one a long time ago on 3DS or something like that. Like,
Yeah,
you
that
know
was
what
a
I mean?
great.
I
That was a
don't-
great
I
one
don't-
to a
yeah,
lot of the players.
Yeah, so like I did play it, but I don't want to like say like I'm
I see Reddit
well
posts of like
versed-
old ladies that have like
well versed in it.
6,000 hours on
Yeah,
Animal
yeah,
Crossing.
exactly. Like that's what I mean. I'm like, I didn't play it that much,
Yeah.
but I know the popularity of the game, how big it is, and how it's like Harvest Moon.
Yeah.
So like I
Great-
played
great
that
example.
one. I played that one a hell of a lot of it, and that has a cult following too. And I'm super into it. I just never got like it was just Animal Crossing just wasn't the one for me. I was the Harvest Moon guy.
It's Legend of Zelda if you never left Kakariko Village.
Right. Yeah. 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 But that's also like I don't know. There's just something to games that are to like a game, the nostalgia that those types of games deliver. Like even Legend of Zelda, like the way that the game's designed, the art for it, like all of that gives you this like total fantasy feeling that makes the games good. Regardless of what like their main content is. Like
Yeah.
you want to play that game because it looks great. It makes you feel good. The musics are usually like right on point too with like what you're doing, and it just kind of wraps up like a whole like easy to play experience. And then Animal Crossing you can, or even Harvest Moon, you can farm.
And they're gonna have social stuff.
Yeah,
They're
and
gonna,
exactly.
I think they're gonna have some form of that in this one. That's what a lot of people are weighing, like how they think the game's gonna be on that one.
Well, you're gonna be like hopefully visiting people's place. You know, what
hopefully,
I mean?
yeah, you should be able to visit people's towns.
We'll see.
Someone brought up that was like rambling through videos, but like the idea of a bird's eye view would be a cool addition because you didn't have that in the previous games.
Yeah,
while you're building your town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and then also think about it through, for instance, Monster Hunter, which is an example for where it's been on portable and how they were only able to do so much, and then they put it on a big system.
Yeah.
And then they were able to offer so much more, and it's just something they never did. So like Animal Crossing, who knows what the Switch will be able to like achieve for that in that regard too, where not only, now that our hardware is better, what new thing can we throw in there?
And then we got Astral Chains. We got Marvel Ultimate Alliance hasn't come out yet, so maybe they'll have something about that. But it's going to be soon.
Yeah, they have it. They have it.
So there's going to be something for that.
There's going to be a Square Enix.
We've got
announcement on that. There's going to be, I think it's from the Square Enix. That's going to come from the Square Enix booth.
Yeah. Did I just say Astral Chains?
Yeah.
That's a new game too. That's going to be a very interesting one because that's got that like weird 2-player co-op kind of format of how it plays.
Right.
I don't know how that plays solo though.
We'll see.
But
that one is the Ultimate Alliance is.
I can't wait for
that. Yeah, so that's
gonna
be really
so
good.
Excited about.
Oh wait, that's the Switch one.
So far. Yeah, that's a Switch exclusive.
Okay, so there's an announcement for the Avengers one from Square Enix.
A new like
the
a
Avengers, yeah. The
is it? Did they show
one
what
we
the
got
format
the clip,
is at all yet?
But one that we got the clips from that then like no one ever talked about. Like the more realistic looking one that's an Avengers. That's Avengers.
I got it. I'm forgetting right now.
Okay, because they only showed like one little snippet of it. It was like a 30-second video, and
we got to find that video.
Yeah, I'll show that video to you. But anyways, they're
on
gonna
the
have
break.
They're gonna have they're gonna have
yeah.
an announcement for that at E3, and that's gonna be even more spectacular. Because it's gonna be on like a more real tip, like realistic looking Avengers Marvel game for the next gen, PlayStation 4, Xbox One. I don't know if Switch may or may not have it. I'm not sure, but it looks like it's gonna be like that, top tier.
And then I'm still curious
Triple
where
A.
like Smash announcements we're gonna get, of course, at least one character. I'm hoping they give us the whole season for the year, because I'm really hoping they get down to like a second season. That'd be really cool. To see like a second year of characters, especially after like how good Dragon Ball has been doing with it, fighters.
Right.
Be good to see that kind of fighting happening. But also on Smash, we got 3.0 this week in news. It's our 3.1. We got the next update. I don't remember what number it is anymore. But it did a lot of balance patching. And it gave us these two really weird modes. Have you seen this at all?
No, I was playing the new this weekend. I was playing the new Mario. I played Mortal Kombat, and with the kids, I had some of the family over. We played the new. It's not the new Mario. It's the new Super Mario Switch one, or that one that came out for Wii U.
Yeah, that they ported.
It's called New Super Mario, I think.
Yeah.
And then they give you the Luigi one with this one, like the little bit more challenging one. But the Switch one has the two new characters, the Toadette and the little like purple cat guy looking guy.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's a cat, but
they
it's
went
perfect
cat
though.
crazy
Yeah,
in Mario World.
but it's perfect because my son can play as him and like he doesn't die. So he can just like run into. The only way he can die is if he like doesn't make the jump. But like it's getting him into that platforming part where he's like starting to do it. Yeah. But he can't die from like running into anything, and then he still gets to like hit enemies and like still gets to play. But like he can just be reckless.
It's toddler mode. We're seeing more and more of this.
But it's perfect because then I can play on the regular mode. But I can play on my regular mode, with my wife and whoever else is visiting, three other people, and then he can still play.
Yeah.
And like we don't have to do the like fake controller thing or
how many
any
plays
of that.
does it go up to?
4, just so you know.
That's great though.
Like, but he doesn't even like. It's funny though because my son like doesn't even mind the fake controller when he even knows it. Like, he still just like wants to have the controller in his hand, like pretending like he's like just training. You know, I'm just like,
Good.
it's not connected, and he like doesn't. He just like has it in his hand. He already just.
He gets it though.
I'm just like,
He gets it at a young
man.
age.
Yeah, he gets it at a young age. He beat Lego Batman when he was 3 or 2.
He's already a technology genius. You're gonna be
I'm scared.
By the time he's 5, you're gonna be like, how do I do this again? Son?
Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, like by the time he's 5, he's just like, I don't even know. I think he was like plays Destiny. He like plays Destiny and kills things in Destiny, and he just is like, get the bad guy, and like has the mouse and keyboard, and is like,
How
he
do
can
those headphones gotta be cute as
he
fuck.
can do he can do the mouse and keyboard easier than he can do the controller.
Oh man, he's
Because
already
His
a pro.
hands aren't big enough for the controller to wrap him around.
Okay,
But the mouse and keyboard, he can like individually hit the ones, and then like
time to get him into StarCraft.
yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry,
Just
in
go
advance.
old school. Yeah, just go into old school.
That's how you get him. He'll be a pro in no time.
Yeah, just go old
No
school
time.
on him. But yeah, that's what I try to do anyways, and play everything with him. So but yeah, we be doing it.
Yeah. I gotta say, so Smash, they did have the patch where they put balancing in, and these balances, they made Pichu and Olimar, 2 of the highest ranked characters in this whole game, easier to hit because they're so
there.
fucking tiny.
So they're
they're
getting some
odd
good
job
balancing.
status.
Yeah, they're getting
like
some
in
good
this game.
balancing
Yep.
patching. Here.
We got like they helped a lot of characters that have like jab combos that like are supposed to auto connect into each other don't, so they fixed a lot of those things. They gave Captain Falcon a whole bunch of buffs, so you're gonna see a bunch of more of him jumping up, which will be good. Just
Yeah.
more power. Who else got a lot of?
Yeah. So
Diddy Kong
Oh, Diddy
back
Kong.
from the dead.
Diddy.
Oh yeah.
Peach.
So like,
did he?
Peach got some nerfs. Actually, I believe I heard. Peach
I'm looking
and
at the
Daisy
list
got nerfs.
Okay.
right now.
Okay. But
So,
like, okay. Anyways, I found this article.
What?
Marvel's Avengers game, Square Enix, Crystal Dynamics. This is an epic action adventure that combines cinematic storytelling with continuous single-player and cooperative gameplay, up to 4 players. Assemble the teams up to 4 players. Master extraordinary abilities, customize your heroes to fit your playstyle, and combine powers to defend an ever-expanding world under constant threat.
Ooh.
And the little trailer here looks badass. I'll show you the trailer in the break, though.
Yeah, totally.
But yeah, so that's going to be at E3, too, so I'm super excited about that.
Okay, so since we're still in news, Elon Musk.
Yep.
Let's talk about that guy.
Yeah, he said it before. He said it on
I know, but
Joe
it's,
Rogan
it's
or something.
Great that,
He's like, oh, my
yeah, how
my
you can
cars
do
play
anything
video
with his
games.
cars.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah, you can do anything in his cars. And, well, now it's going to be more in people's eyes because Cuphead, that's been popping up everywhere.
Yep.
Indie game of the
It's a
fucking
terrible,
century lately.
terrible game to put in your car.
Oh, man. And that, yeah.
Shattered
people-
windows,
you're
shattered
gonna,
everything.
Man, I can't handle this road rage. Auto drive. Cuphead rage.
Right, exactly.
Oh, man.
Like,
I can't wait.
Stress levels
Imagine
rise
just
1,000% as
the number of smashed screens.
Yeah.
And what are you going to be playing on? The touchscreen? Oh, no, that's dangerous.
Right. We made the automated car to take the stress
Oh, man.
off of your trip, your
So you can
day-to-day
get stressed
travels.
out on the grind.
So now you can play Cuphead
Oh,
and enjoy the experience.
Look,
You're not going to enjoy the experience of Cuphead.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean,
Elon
you
Musk-
are. Don't get me wrong.
I love
Like,
that
it's
Elon
Dark
Musk
Souls-y.
is enjoying the joy
Yeah.
that is
Oh, yeah.
Cuphead. That game is
He,
best.
of course, and he loves video games too.
Mhm.
He loves video games too, and he loves. I mean, he's just the guy that he's getting it. Like Gary Vee always says the same thing too. Gary Vee says it way more than Elon Musk, obviously, because that's what he does. But the times are changing. Like, if you're not on some digital something, like you're the one that's.
Yeah. The
You-
times are
everybody-
changing.
Everybody
indeed.
else isn't weird or crazy or lazy or there's not something wrong with them because they have their world or their life on their phone. Like
They made their life
lit-
more efficient in
literally-
1,000 more
ma-
ways.
Maybe not, but like maybe that's just what their life is revolving around at the time because that's where they get their business done. That's where they get their social.
They get their shopping all done.
Yeah,
they
you
get
know
their
what I mean?
everything.
Exactly. So it's like,
Oh,
and
man.
like you shouldn't be thinking that those people are weird for that. You're just thinking that that's what they're doing. That's and that's why normal is such a terrible word
Yeah.
because normal, what was normal 10 years ago is vastly different than what's normal now. It's normal to be on your phone shopping and doing all this stuff. It's not normal to be asking people or wondering why they're on their phone shopping
Can
and
we
doing everything
talk
else,
about
'cause-
something that's not normal, though? Speaking of the future.
future, just now.
So,
now,
okay,
now.
the makers of Katamari
Okay.
and Quap.
Okay.
You remember those games?
Not Quap.
Quap was a really weird
But
PC
Katamari
game
is when you are
Katamari is like where you roll the ball.
roll the ball and
yeah.
you're just collecting everything. Yes, exactly.
Quap was this old Flash game where you used QWOP. That's why your name was Quap.
Okay.
And you are the first track runner from your country, and your country is very poor.
Okay.
So you don't have good training.
Okay.
You're trying to complete a 100-meter dash, but you control your like calves and your thigh muscles. your calves and your quads
Okay.
are what you're controlling.
All right.
And so it's very hard just to move forward.
All right.
And there's a hurdle halfway through. It's that fucking stupid. Anyways.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Huge fan of that game, though, personally.
Yeah. I get it.
Anyways, come together. They are making a new handheld game that is black and white, just like an old Game Boy. Here, that's a picture of it quick.
And that's the whole console.
That's a tiny thing. Okay. It's like it's got a D-pad.
Play date.
Sam, can you see that?
Hold it a lot closer.
Play date.
There you go. Perfect. A little down. Yep. Right
You see that little weird yellow thing?
Mm-hmm.
It's a Game Boy
Looks like a
looking
miniature
thing,
Game
black
Boy.
and white, buttons, D-pad kind
Yeah.
of thing, and a fucking crank on the side.
Crank?
Because half of the game, all the games on it will incorporate a little tiny hand crank.
Fishing.
Like that's how exactly. And so
They're like, actually, we just
turning
tricked
things
you.
over, but they are just.
You're
We're
charging
gonna
it.
add a new thing to this.
Yeah. We incorporate our games to have that, so you have to charge your device.
I see. That's what I was thinking, and I was hoping for something weird like that.
Yeah, they're like,
But
if you wanna
no.
keep playing this motherfucker.
It
you
is
better fucking
half
start
of
cranking,
everything
homie.
has like crank mechanics involved in the
That's
game.
crazy.
But it's like how you'd cycle through items, say,
Right,
or a bunch of
right.
other things. But
Right.
like,
Right.
there's a hand crank attached to the thing just to get people to do that more.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Sweet.
That's interesting.
I
like it.
saw
We'll
this
see.
thing and I was like,
It's about time
what?
someone brings out something
I,
new.
it's something. Yeah. Right. It's something.
What?
new
So you
and
could play
different.
Bop It Digital?
I posted just more and more. I posted just more and more buttons. You know, like a new. There's a new gadget involved.
It's
you
a
know?
weird one,
Yeah,
but
it's a weird one, for sure.
it's new technology.
Yep.
New tech. All right. Well, let's take a little break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk Dauntless, Destiny 2, and then we'll wrap this mother trucker up.
Let's go.
The Plug Gaming, live on DFZ Radio. We'll be right back after these jammy jams, giving you the best in gaming news and review.
I'm gonna go look that up.
Side diesel in my blood, purple drink in my cup. Someone tell the DJ, crank it on up. Side diesel in my blood, purple drink in my cup. Someone tell the DJ, crank it on up. Yeah, crank it up, crank it on up, crank it up. Sour diesel up in my blood, purple drink up in my cup, crank it up, crank it on up. That's D. Got me smoking the bass, no stress cheese. Now hold up, roll up. Check the situation, about to go nuts. With a little bit of perk up in my cup. You can tell the bartender to fill it on up. That's alright, baby, work your stuff. And that's all night, baby, work your strut. You and your friends can ride when I go. Take a little spin in my Monte Carlo. Take a little dip, baby, show you how I roll. Take a little hit, baby, puff on the hydro. Eyes so lit, make me look like my eyes closed. Purple Drake mix, make me look like my eyes glow. Hypno Grey Goose with a little grape juice. That's how it is, so I'ma have to take side diesel in my blood. Purple drink in my cup. Someone tell the DJ, crank it on up. Side diesel in my blood. Purple drink in my cup. Someone tell the DJ, crank it on up. Yeah, crank it up, crank it on up, crank it up. Sour diesel up in my blood, purple drink up in my cup, crank it up, crank it on up. It's the ADX team with no dot in between, and we we stay fresh and clean when we hop on the scene. And we style on them, profile on them. If they wanna act crazy, then we wild on them. It's the S to the T and that Cambo G. Either Maserati blue or the Lambo green. And that Chevrolet mean when it drop on the street. Either hating on you or they hating on me. And it's shaved up, raised up. Driving to the flow, got them blades that stay tough. And the candy on the bike, same color as sour. Catch me on the site 100 miles per hour. This is my life, so this ain't ours. So I stay tight, so this is power. With the ADX team, you can call us some brave hearts. Sour diesel trees, you can call it the trademark. Side diesel in my blunt, purple drink in my cup. Someone tell the DJ, crank it on up. Side diesel in my blunt, purple drink in my cup. Someone tell the DJ, crank it on up. Yeah, crank it up, crank it on up, crank it up. Sour diesel up in my blunt, purple drink up in my cup, crank it up, crank it on up. West Coast, crank it on up. East Coast, crank it on up. Midwest, crank it on up. Down south, crank it on up. Yeah, crank it up, crank it on up, crank it up. Sour diesel up in my blunt, purple drink up in my cup, crank it up, crank it on up.
SG, DJ Dale, Big Bam, Killer P, Chill with the OE, it's the ADX team. 562 Mob.
DFCRadio.com.
You already be knowing, see? Man, you got Sam on it.
Bars.
Damn.
Bars.
Dude,
Ooh.
how many times have you heard this song?
I
a
mean,
couple times.
enough. But I listen. I you know.
I brushed my teeth to this.
Yeah, I mean, you just catch me listening to this on
My
the regular.
jam.
This type of shit on the regular
It's
too.
the only song I listened to on the drive over here.
Yeah, so that's his pre-show hype
Hell yeah.
track, dog.
That's the.
It's a great track.
That's
for
bars.
that. Yes.
That's dope.
But yeah, we are back with
Top music today.
hot music today on the plug-in. No, we're gonna hop straight into this like review, one game review, and then a preview.
Yeah.
Season of Opulence preview. So let's jump into Dauntless though.
We got the right now. We got the starting tomorrow.
Yeah. Let's jump into Dauntless though and talk about that. And I mean, you can give like your kind of review on it. I think it's just I'm gonna do more of my thoughts and like a little review, but like mostly just sum up the experience of it. I mean, the game, like we talked about it previously, it's similar to Monster Hunter, but it does have this easier. It has this like more inviting feel to it to jump back into. It doesn't seem as daunting. No pun intended. As a game to like hop into, like Monster Hunter, like if I wanted to go back get back into it, there would be so much shit that has happened, and who knows, that could happen with, it actually could happen with Dauntless. You know, that's a possibility that they
It's
just
got an
update
ability
the
to
shit
have
out
a
of
life
it.
to it.
Yeah, like they just
And
update the shit out of it right
that was
away,
yeah.
and add a ton of monsters. But like the collecting of the items you need to craft stuff is easier. So that was really like
Everything
a relief.
about it is simplified for
that
like,
was really
the Monster
a relief
Hunter experience.
finding that out, because like right off the bat I got to feel powerful and like have a variety of stuff, and then the customization shit is also in there too, so you can start looking any way that you want.
You
Right off the
unlock
bat.
colors and stuff, but then you
Right.
unlock it for everything, those
Right,
colors.
exactly.
And then like
So, but
yeah.
right off the
Nobody
bat, you
changes
get
their
some
flags.
variation.
Everybody's
Yeah.
flags is just the standard one. Or
it-
maybe it's just that
That's a weird
they don't load in
incorporation.
right.
Yeah, but that's a weird incorporation though, because like they never really mentioned the banner to you.
Nope.
or
It's
anything,
just there right at the
and it
beginning.
doesn't do much for you either if you place your banner out. I guess it's a tracker for like people.
Is that what that fucking is?
I'm guessing that because they have
I-
no other way of
I've
tracking
just
your
left
team
it
down.
there always.
They have no other
No,
way of
you
tracking your
shoot
team.
the,
I know,
you shoot the
but
flare.
like, there's no radar. There's no like this
Nope.
guy went that way. This guy went that way.
It's
He's
a
searching
hunter.
over there.
And that's what this is. This is a hunting
Yeah.
game.
So like literally, you can't tell. You can't look at your map. You can't do any of that stuff.
You just
They
run in
launch a
circles
flare.
and collect shit
Yeah.
until one of you finds the thing, and then you pop off the flare, and
But
then
you can't
everyone runs
customize
over
the
there,
flare. Like what
and then
the,
you mash
the design
out
of the
killing
flare,
this thing.
The design of the flare can be customized.
It can?
Yeah.
Cool.
So it can
So
like
there you go.
you can change it into like a picture.
Oh,
like one guy
fireworks.
had like it was like a tiger or lion's head or something like that. It was pretty cool.
Ooh, like in fireworks? or
Yeah,
like-
like the firework burst into
Okay.
something. Like I never
Oh,
looked.
man.
I never looked. I just would look on the compass.
Yeah, all I do is look
But
at
if
the
you
compass.
look into the sky,
You'll see
you'll
a big
see it
old
shoot.
picture?
Yeah, you'll
That's
shoot
cool.
shoot into something. Exactly. Yeah. So,
but
it's
that's
pretty
okay.
cool.
So this game has like all those elements about it, and everything's like a pretty standard grind to unlock all the parts. You hunt this monster to make that monster's armor,
Right.
or a weapon, and
Yeah.
all the weapons are pretty standard across. Like they're pretty balanced across the board.
Right.
It's more just they all have a very unique way to play them.
Correct. Yeah.
So, like,
there's-
They have 5 weapons and the guns.
Yeah, 5 weapons and the guns, and then like within those, it's like the great sword, dual axe, battle axe, spear,
Spear,
what was
lance,
it? Lance, whatever.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
the spear's a lance.
lance, and then
same
the
thing,
hammer.
Sam. It's the same thing.
Okay.
Spear's and
Okay,
lance.
okay.
Okay. But yeah,
Terminology.
one may seem like you're throwing it more, and one might seem like you're
Pokey.
poking more. But like a spear, some spears aren't meant to be thrown.
Anyways,
Anyways, yeah, but yeah. So
no, but
there-
it does. You
there's-
have 5 forms there.
I don't like
They-
the lance, by the way.
I
I didn't like it. I like the lance in. I like the
started
lances
with
in
it.
Monster Hunter.
Yeah, that's why I started
didn't-
with the lance.
Didn't like the lance.
Nope.
At all. Yeah.
But
It
what
felt
I really
slow
liked-
and the spacing wasn't very well.
Was the 2 axe types. There's the dual axes, which are actually chain blades that you
Yeah, the
are
chain
just
blades,
whipping
yeah.
them around in circles and multi-hitting everything. And they got that cool shootout move. And then there's also the axe, the big axe,
Yeah.
that has great combos, charge moves. You
Yep.
throw it out like fucking Kratos, and then can grab it in the air and slam it down on shit.
Yep.
It's yeah, that one was really fun.
Yeah, the chain axes are cool too, though, since you're on the axes.
Yeah.
And that their move, you like sink the axes into the enemy, and it like draws you into them.
Oh,
so then you
yeah,
can start,
yeah.
Like just because you want to close distance, you want to be in there as quickly
The
as
dual
possible with
blades
those.
in
Yeah,
Monster Hunter.
Exactly.
It's the very
exactly. Right, and just go.
But you got a
off.
little more range, which is nice.
Right, and so like they give you that quirky little different thing about the class, the weapon class.
It's like R1 changes with
And
each weapon.
It's done well to make it enough different to where you're like, oh, they didn't just take something from Monster Hunter and then they didn't just make all the weapons of their own the same. So like
Yeah.
they take the effort to
They created unique
put
things you're
their-
playing with.
right to put
All
their
the monsters
twist
look
on it.
unique. They have
And the
unique
monsters are
fighting
great.
ways.
Yeah, the
like that
monsters are
Terra
great.
monster I hunted one of those
Yeah.
today, where he like will
I really
bring
like
all
the
the rocks
designs,
that
yeah.
defend him to one side to
Right.
do like bash attacks, but
Right.
then you can get behind him.
Yep.
Yeah, great.
They really then the electrical guy puts like electrical like tethers up that just
Yeah.
start attacking you from multiple directions, and then you're like you slightly get paralyzed and stuff. They really
Now,
take those elements that we've always experienced in every type of all types of games we've played, all RPG games we play, and they really just
yeah.
do a great job showing them off through the monsters, and then also showing off their function against you. And then you get to go craft those weapons from that monster, the loot that you get, and then your weapons will now be able to, inflict those same ailments or effects, status effects.
And it
on,
stages
you know,
up well.
your
You get to
enemies.
custom, like you were talking about the grenades, where you get to start like getting
Yeah.
those
You
different
get like a
damage
standard
types.
standard
They
cluster
have a
grenade, which is
pretty-
awesome.
They have a pretty simple thing of like ice and fire doing
Yeah.
counters to
Right.
each other.
Yeah.
Terra and electric.
Yeah.
Like so they have a pretty standard mix set on that. So again, it's easy to figure out, fun to get into,
Right.
and it'll get you ready for Monster Hunter if you want to get into that when
If you already
the
have,
next one comes
if
out.
you know, and that like that's kind of what I'm thinking is like
Yeah.
if you already have Monster Hunter, because at this point it's Monster Hunter's free for everything
this
that
is
comes
Monster
out.
Hunter warm-ups.
If you have it already, right? If you already bought it for whatever price you paid,
Yeah.
you have it for all of their updates forever, and they've already shown you that they're willing to update the game through an entire year, and then at the end of the year,
We're getting a humongous
they're getting
DLC.
a fucking giant update.
Yeah.
Exactly. So they've proven that, but then also Dauntless is just free to play. So like this could either segue you into becoming a Monster Hunter, in the more complex realm. And that's even something that's great for like the age gaps.
Yeah.
So it can introduce these younger players into that style.
This game is
So
a
it's
lot
for
less.
it can be for
gore
everybody.
and blood and things.
Yeah, but it can be
too,
for
so,
everybody,
like,
but it also can segue a younger player, a newer player to the genre, a newer player to Monster Hunter. It can segue you into this new, Iceborne update, which is going to be great to play and
man.
experience, whether you're a
Huge update.
Dauntless
New
fanboy or whatever.
monsters.
Yeah, it's going to be great. It's really going to be good. Yeah, I can't wait either. I'm super stoked on it, and like I've been wanting to get.
Is gonna be
Yeah, I've been
so
wanting
cool.
to get into back into Monster Hunter so bad, and like this is the thing that's gonna do it. So, I'm just gonna kind of wait. I'll play some Dauntless in between, but I'm really into it.
But I got a wrench to throw in all those gears you just set up all nice.
What's that?
Tomorrow
I know.
I
know. I know.
Is-
Everything ends. It just starts over again. It's a terrible
our
cycle.
other main topic.
It's
of
a
the
terrible
evening.
cycle, though.
Destiny.
But this is
Dos.
thick. This is thick too, because
They're hitting us.
we got so much
same
stuff.
day.
Yeah.
with
So same day
whole
raid,
new season.
new season,
Catch
new
up
raid.
tokens so you can get on your shit quick, which means I can get back in the game. I don't have to worry. I can
Yeah.
go back and play all the other stuff when I'm looking for something to
Right.
do later on.
So the power surge, the thing
But
that
they
allowed
got another
Saint,
power surge. Yeah.
Saint that allowed you to get your boost.
Yeah.
Now we'll
They
get you to
have that again.
690.
It has a 690 boost.
I knew they were gonna do it.
So you can get raid ready, which is 700 to like
Because
720.
Holy shit, the raid also comes out tomorrow.
Nice.
Exactly. So
The
6
race
hours
begins at 10 a.m.
No, it's 6 hours after.
6 hours after.
So 10 o'clock it starts, and then
4
6 hours.
o'clock
6 hours
Pacific
later.
time.
6 hours later, the raid will open. And the idea behind this, from Bungie's standpoint, is that it's going to even the playing field for
Yeah.
World's First. So it's going to eliminate that power grind that took place for the first
Yeah.
initial week, to where it was just really
If
dedicated.
you grind 6 hours, you're going to be caught
It
up.
was just really dedicated to
power-wise
those
almost.
who had like unlimited time. So
Yeah.
like streamers, people who played video games for money, and then no offense, but no lifers. There's the only
tomorrow
people.
might be a no life day for me now.
People had the ability to do that for an entire week, though, and then that was what like the minimum requirement to become
Yeah.
world's first. And it's like that's not fair for like 75%
Also,
of the
you
community.
didn't have the 100,000 people that were watching you at that moment also talking to you
Yeah,
on every
helping
chat
you,
stream
yeah.
ever and forum.
Yeah,
So it's
so-
like you have that interconnectivity. Every puzzle gets easier.
right. True.
Even
Yeah.
like for Destiny, you
100
needed
heads is more.
some of
than,
them you
better
needed
than
to know
one.
like 4 different fucking
Yeah.
languages. And what do you
100
know? Let me just use Reddit.
100 heads is better than one. 1,000 is better than 100. And if you got 10K in your fucking chat, you're getting some shit
You're gonna
done
figure
quickly.
it out.
Yeah, you're getting shit done quickly. And there
Like,
could be a lot of bullshit
I would
in
just
there,
be on the
too.
stream like, "Hey, squad, what do I need to know?"
Right. But like that's the thing. So they're evening the playing field for World's First. So, and this is the idea of the world that we're going to be living in with Bungie in full control. They can do whatever they want. So they can make this decision and say, okay, we're evening up the raid race for you guys. We've
Yeah.
listened to you. We've heard it. And they've actually said that with Season of Opulence, be expecting to see things more how Bungie wants you to see them. It's a new era. Okay,
it's a new
and
era
all
in
of their
guns,
stuff
too.
is coming out. I know. We're going to talk about the nerfs at the end. And the new stuff that's coming out is going to be with that in mind, that Bungie has full control. Their marketing and their images all now say published, are going to say published by Bungie, developed
Which means
by
their
Bungie.
progression is
Okay.
in Bungie's eyes, not in.
Right. So they're doing these things to increase their community solely. It's only for them. So all this stuff is
And
just
every-
stuff they're going to live and die by ultimately, but it's also allows them to take it the direction that they really feel that they've always wanted
I
to.
think in terms of universe building, it's going to be great.
Right. And it's going to help a lot. It could help a lot in the sandbox, but we don't know that because the nerfs that are coming that we're going to talk about could be just fucking.
And it seems like catching.
It could be really bad.
But it does seem like for the sake of catching up, you're set up. There's going to be new weapons, so those new weapons.
Yeah, and then
are
that pisses some people
usually
off.
people
too,
are
though.
playing the newest weapons for the raid because those are the ones best balanced for it.
Yeah, but they're
just
getting
tends
rid
to
of the
fall
ones
into
that
that.
weren't. They're getting the ones that were universal.
You're
They're
right.
getting rid of those ones.
You got to figure out a whole new game against the Hive.
Let's start with. So we know that the new season's coming out. So that's a new campaign. Or no, that's not new campaign.
Well,
there's
I
no new
think
campaign. There's
no,
new
it's more
quests.
that's quest
Exactly.
stuff.
There's
And
no more
it's-
quests, but there's a whole new 6-man activity,
Yes.
the Menagerie, and this is going to be. This is where the season of opulence comes in. The chalice of opulence. It's going to be something that you carry on you, and you're progressively upgrading it to ultimately be able to get better loot. And then this is where this
pimp
you
cut.
choose your loot idea comes in. So you're going to be able to choose your loot by putting together a specific combination of items into the chalice. And then you are going to offer the chalice to this activity, and then that's going to create your experience. And then when you finish it, you'll be able to get that exact piece.
Is that
Here's
around the
thing.
raid, or is that
Here's
around
the thing. No, it's a
the
separate
store?
activity.
Okay.
And here's the thing. We don't know those combinations. So we will all be finding them out, jotting them down, and collectively putting together these charts that tell us how to get this specific gear
Thanks,
by doing this
Internet.
specific stuff. I mean, it's great. The chalice idea actually comes from Bloodborne. That's how you created the levels to find the extra badass shit in game. You carried a blood chalice around with you, and you put these nasty things in it, and then it would create this world that you would go into, and it'd have like 6 or 7
That's
levels to it, and it was extremely difficult. But then at the end, you could find like these super, +6 items and +2 items. It was a very specific way to get certain
Extra
weapons.
challenge, better reward.
Correct.
love
Exactly.
it.
And that's what we're doing. And now it's gear that you can choose. So you can say, I want to get this weapon. And then all I got to do is leave it up to the random roll, not the randomness of me getting it. You know
Not
what
the
I mean?
randomness of the gun, the randomness of the perks.
Exactly. And there are some new interesting perks that are going to be coming in too. We've already actually seen in some with the Season of the Drifter, but I think the most important is the Menagerie, this Chalice of Opulence, that whole incorporation of, which has to do with the raid, obviously, like theme-wise, but it's this new offering that is match-made, so you're going to be able to hop in 6-man activities, and it's something new and cool that we haven't seen before in the community. We've seen the Prison of Elders in Destiny 1, but that was only a 3-man activity, and it was super fun. Or it was a 4-man
Now,
activity.
I'm curious.
And that was really fun. So
You think that's going to be open right off the bat?
Yeah,
or
it's
is there
open
gonna
right
be a
away. It
light
opens right away.
minimum?
Nope, opens right away.
No,
Yeah, it's going to
alright.
be light minimum, probably 700. That's why you have your power surge. That's why you have your power surge.
Now,
Okay, so you do your power surge. You start doing some of your primes.
Am I going to be
you're-
playing old content or new content? This is a good question. During that power surge.
The power surge is going to be the standard stuff that you have to do. That's how they always do the power surge. So you're going to have to run a Crucible match and kill 10 Guardians. You'll get 2 pieces of gear. You're going to have to run
Oh,
a strike
okay.
and get X amount of kills.
I didn't do
You're
the
going to have
power
to
surge
do
last time.
you're
I
going to
was
have to
running
do the
light.
stuff to get your dailies and weeklies done.
Yeah.
Your normal stuff. And then you'll be entered into Menagerie. You'll be able to do Prime, Gambit Prime. All that stuff is still active. But yeah, as far as content-wise, it's Menagerie, the raid, and then a succession of releases of things that incorporate into Menagerie throughout the next 3 weeks. So new bosses, a new heroic mode, all of that stuff. So that's kind of how it gets laid out. And then in between that, we have the Truth Quest, which we're going to get the Truth Rocket Launcher, which is a exotic tracking rocket launcher. And the tracking's like really good. It's like you could like bend it around entire buildings type tracking. Like you can track them, they'll jump away.
It's exotic tracking.
And you just dink, you know what I mean? Yeah, exotic tracking. And it's from Destiny 1, but
man.
it has these, the perks are going to be slightly different one. And then it kind of goes into
It's gonna
what
be
we're
cheesy
finding
for a
out.
minute, and then
But it
everyone
kind of
move
falls into what we're finding out about what's been going on, because we've been stuck in a loop of our brains. We don't even know where we're at as Guardians. We don't even know what world we're existing in. We just go to the Dreaming City and we're stuck in a loop, a continuous loop that we're just killing things to feed basically Crota's daughter, or Crota's sister, daughter of Oryx, Salanthon. So so we are in a world of craziness in
While
the
we
lore.
use our Whisper of the Worm,
Right.
feeding the worm.
Yes, exactly. So we are in this world that we're not even sure of. So this whole truth quest is supposed to maybe have to fall into like the penumbra, this
There
whole
ain't no
season
good,
of
no bad no
season of
more.
opulence, exactly like what we've really been doing, what we've really been participating in. And some people think that the end of this raid, the Crown of Sorrow, will be the result of some other permanent event, just like this curse that
This
takes
is
place.
already an interesting event.
That takes place in the game permanently and is ultimately going to end Destiny
so no
2.
more Leviathan?
No, it will go active once the people beat it again.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is not active while this is active though. Until the first people beat it. Until the world first happens, you can't go into any of the raids.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's going to be interesting. Actually, not any of the raids. It's only the Leviathan and something else because they don't want you to farm the coins.
Gee, I wonder why. Let's talk about that. So, this is a raid that takes place in the Leviathan,
Yeah.
taken over by.
We don't know. We're gonna find out. A Vex Mind.
It looks
Hopefully.
like it looks like the
I mean,
Hive.
people
Everything's very Hivey
but
looking.
But it's Seventh On. But the Vex Mind is Korra is going to possibly be the boss though,
Ooh.
because that's who's simulating this dream world, or throne world that we're in the Dreaming City.
Well,
Who
in a lot of
knows?
those older, in a lot of those deeper lore videos, you start to get these connections.
Yeah, and you should watch one of those because
Between
I
the
watch them all the
factions?
time, and I'm still confused about it.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you should definitely.
But
watch
they're
them.
epic stories to
and
listen
don't listen to me when it comes to the lore.
Yeah.
Just take
Whose
bits and
videos
pieces.
do you watch?
I watch
I watch Bife's when
Bife.
I
I watch Bife all the time, and
Yep.
then one other guy doesn't. I don't know his name. It just always shows up on my thing. I really should know his name and subscribe to him probably. But like it's
I
he
fell off.
does a lot of them. But I
the
also
last
I have
thing
a
I
great
did was, like, the
Instagram.
cards.
I got a great Instagram one, Destiny Facts. Like the guy's been doing it a long time. I don't know. You know, it's Instagram. It's just social
Chronologically,
media.
does he do it? Or
No,
does
he just
like,
does like
spit shit
he does
out,
like numbers. He numbers it like his facts, and it usually goes in somewhat of an order. But sometimes he comes in with like random stuff because it's just like he wants to get content. He's not really like look at my fucking chronological shit. It's just Destiny facts.
Yeah.
But it's all like stuff that the fact is supposed to be something that you wouldn't just normally put together yourself. You'd have to read through the lore to put those together. So he like gives you the sliver of the lore through his own perspective. So you don't. It's not like you're just reading the lore tab. You know what I mean? But yeah, so that's what we're looking at. Truth Quest, Menagerie, Raid, Lumina Quest, the Rose. Every thorn has a rose.
Oh no.
So a new exotic hand cannon, baby.
Another new example.
And I'm interested. This is going to be a D2 one, though.
What are
this
they
is going to
doing
be a D2 one, and I'm
Okay.
so interested to see what its perks are.
What have they been doing to hand cannons in this next
Nothing.
update,
They're
though?
great.
They're
gonna
going to stay the same?
Yeah, so only the two
They've been
hand
in a great
cannons
place.
changed are the Not Forgotten and the Luna's Howl.
Okay.
And then Ace of Spades is getting changed because of Titans. Titans and the One-Eyed Mask have ruined Ace of Spades because they can just two-shot you with Memento Mori because they'll have you're marked with Vengeance. So they do extra damage to you, and then it heals them. And they can track you. And they can track you.
So
Fucking Titans.
that helmet was just
Yeah, so that helmet
yeah.
with Ace of Spades, people were just basically getting Memento Mori and just one-tapping, two-tapping people from, like, across the map because the range
I
on it
see
is
you.
fucking sick, yeah.
Hi.
And you're tracked, so it's pretty, so that's coming in, but Lumina Quest, so that's the Rose, which was the gun before Thorn was the Thorn. It was the Rose. That's what the Rose turned into the Thorn
So
after the
does
Hive
that mean we have
corruption.
time travel to be able to get it, or are we going to be reforging?
We're going to reforge it, and it might be called Lumina, but we're not sure if it's called Lumina. It's called the Lumina Quest, but we're not sure if it's called Lumina or the Rose. But it is confirmed. It's
It is
shaped
the
after,
Rose.
and it's shaped after. Looks like Thorn and everything, but
It
it's
just might have a new name
Rose.
because it's not the original.
it's not the original. Just kind of how
But it's,
Malfeasance.
yeah.
Malfeasance was exactly how Malfeasance was, just Thorn, but
Don't you reforge the
not
Thorn also?
you just get Thorn because the Thorn.
But it
The
was the
lore
melted
behind-
hunk of metal. to
Yeah,
start.
but the That was the Malfeasance. No.
Thorn was the melted hunk of metal, I thought.
Yeah, but that's the thing is you have to have a certain. The reason why Malfeasance didn't turn into Thorn is because it didn't get the corruption fully taken away from it, so they had to manipulate the model so they could use it and not get corrupted. The Thorn has a special. The Thorn has a special spell put on it from an ogre you beat in D1 that only the Guardian can use it without being corrupted. So, the other guys who use Malfeasance that are not you or any character that's...
You're the owner of it, kind of like
he
was the owner of the Thorn, exactly. So it didn't corrupt him.
Exactly. Well, it did corrupt him.
Nice spell.
But that's the idea. You have to defeat some sort of hive corruption to eliminate the corruption from Thorn.
There's some lore for you.
Yeah. So that's actually how you do... You can even yield the Thorn anyways. So there is a power surge. We said 690. Yep. The new power light level though is 750.
But that's going to be the weekly work.
Yeah, that's your weekly work. But the raid caps at 720. The raid caps at
705 right now.
Everyone's at 700.
700.
So 700. Power surging to 690 right off the bat if you're lower, and then you want to get to 700. The first encounter was at 710 or 715, and they brought it back down to 700.
Okay.
But the last encounter, or second or third encounter, is 720, 725.
720.
Yeah. So this whole 750 is capped for something else, probably.
Oh, because you need to be able to beat it tomorrow because they want to have the whole challenge.
World's first.
And the big issue was on some of them the scaling.
They haven't. But here's what I think. They're doing all this too because they don't want somebody to beat it in 24 hours. They've only had one raid
they want it
not
to be
beaten.
Hard enough.
They have only had one raid not beaten in 24 hours, and that was the Vault of Glass, the very first raid ever made.
Wait, what happened with what was the one that came out the Dream
Last
City?
Wish? Yeah, remember they beat it. They beat it at 23 hours or something like that, and then Dado beat it at 24 hours and 6 minutes. And then he didn't get the
because there was
the first day completion.
24 hours.
Exactly. So he didn't get the first day completion, and then everybody else got the 24-hour emblem. So you do get an emblem. They do give you a reward, but trust that reward didn't exist until
mail
someone
awards the world first.
No, but that emblems didn't exist until after beating raids in 24 hours became a thing.
Yeah.
That's the truth about it.
But this
raids
one
were never
the
made.
For.
Raids were never made to be beaten in 24 hours or the first day they launched. That's a new upcoming thing and trend amongst content creators.
The 4 p.m. our time is what time the raid launches.
Correcto.
What time do you think it'll be finished?
With these nutcases that we got in the Destiny 2
community,
a
random guess right now.
I'm guessing that it's going to be done in. I think it's not going to be done in 24 hours.
You don't think so?
That's what I'm hoping. Yeah, that's what I think.
It's
I honestly think.
Okay.
I think that they're trying their hardest, and best bet that you're going to see fucking silly puzzles, crazy silly puzzles in there.
Is it ridiculous puzzles, or is it more stages that makes up that time, or is it harder bosses to fight, or?
Do you think someone's played the raid?
Not yet.
In terms of try to get a time on it and beat it, at Bungie. The blind playthrough, just gave it to him.
I don't know how they handle that, but
exactly. So I don't think they do that. I don't think they would put that on anybody.
Yeah.
Be like, dude, you got to beat this raid.
But what you have is they kind of already sort of built the world that you're already going to be playing in, so that saves a lot of legwork for them.
Yeah, so they can work better on mechanics. Yeah.
Exactly. They can work better on the
to make it harder.
They can redefine
to make it harder. And I think they don't want people to beat it in 24 hours, or they want one group.
Just the Leviathan with zombie versions of everything.
Everything regens. They're like, this room, everything life regens 30%. That's all we changed. Everybody's just so pissed on day one.
Now you have to do the garden every time.
Okay, I don't know. We're gonna see, but I honestly hope that's true. That it's not done in 24 hours. Just personally, because
I hope
I'd
they
love to
give
see
us
that
a
difficulty.
real full challenge. That'd be great. I'm gonna pop it up on the stream. I'm gonna have shit. Man.
I'm gonna try to get a group.
Business right now might be have some
tomorrow,
coffee,
maybe.
have some breakfast, and play some Destiny because I can play the quick catch up Just fuck around. I already wanted to get back into my like healer build,
Yeah.
which I fucking love and is always going to be important raids.
Yeah.
And the idea is that, hey, guess what? Any of you can wake up tomorrow if you've already owned the season, and by the time the raid launches, you can be caught up light-wise.
Correct.
It's not that hard, actually. You could do it in a few hours.
True that. That.
I'm
Okay, and
ready for that.
that's super true. And then also, the other truth to this season is new pinnacle weapons.
New missions.
There's some changes to that. The pinnacle, well, there's only like one change. The pinnacle weapons are Hush, which is a bow for Gambit.
Oh.
Okay, and its perk is a side or a hip fire perk, which is increased
thing,
damage.
Oh.
Here, let me see what it says here.
Maybe like super fast hip fires, so you can just pew 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 pew. Because that's usually the bow issues is being able to draw it in time. It's so slow that you have to like. That's why you're playing. I mean, if you're using a bow, you're going to be behind counter or something.
Yeah,
and
Hush.
you're gonna charge it up
Its
and that's
perk
out.
is Archer's Gambit, where hitting a precision shot without aiming down sights increases the draw speed.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's
exactly.
a good perk.
Yeah.
For bows.
speed.
I don't like bows.
See,
but-
but you can.
The Vanguard pinnacle weapon is a grenade launcher, and this one has an interesting perk. It's called Exploding Light.
Mm-hmm.
It's a heavy grenade launcher.
Okay.
So it's not the ones you necessarily like. But so you pick up an Orbalite, and it charges the grenade with light,
Cool.
and it can do all 6 rounds. So if you
it
pick
can
up 6,
change ammo types, or
no, it charges it with
Energy
light,
types?
so it's extra damage on the explosion and
Okay.
bigger blast radius and everything. So it's
That's
supposed to be
cool.
this bigger, more grand thing. You know what I mean? So
do you have to have it out to pick up? I'm curious.
no,
So
it'll just
then,
pick them up and
yeah,
load them to those,
anytime
and then
you
it'll
pick
just
up,
abuse
okay.
the first 6 that you have.
That's great.
And then here's the word we're getting the biggest difference. And obviously for the Gambit one, it's going to be like the whatever triumph that you need to do. Reset your Gambit, kill X
Mm-hmm. it's gonna be
amount of
just
stuff,
like
kill X many amount of
Stages
envoys
of quests of
and primevals,
of
exactly. And then
Gambit,
the Vanguard's going to be like runs X amount of strikes, this or that, get this many kills, headshots, collect orbs.
Yeah.
And then here's the big change, and this is cool. We got the Revoker sniper rifle for pinnacle weapon for Crucible.
Yeah.
Okay,
PvP.
here we go
sniper, what do
with
you know?
the thing that's gonna you don't have to be sweaty anymore to get the pinnacle weapons. So you just need to get 3,500 glory, and it doesn't reset. So you just need to acquire that much glory in the season.
So you
and
just
get
have to
the
get
gun.
that many wins worth to collect,
Exactly.
but you don't lose points even though
don't
you're
lose
losing
points.
ranks.
Even though you're losing ranks, you don't
That's-
lose points for the weapon's progress.
How do you feel about that as someone
I-
who got
I-
sweaty to earn it on the Lunas?
I mean, like the Lunas wasn't hard. It took like so many days. The hardest part was matchmaking me with a group. So like
Yeah.
that was different. And
I think this makes it more of a grind and less
so-
of a
so like
frustration.
it just makes it more accessible. So like people aren't feeling so bad.
And it removes that exact issue you just complained about having
Yeah,
to wait
exactly.
for matching with
Exactly.
a good team.
Exactly. There's
Because
too
you're
many-
not working your way backwards. You're just
There's too
stagnant.
many variables that are stacked against people.
Yeah.
That have they don't really have control over to really like lock essentially
People are
locks
really
these
staggered
weapons.
when they play Destiny
And-
or when they catch up.
Yeah,
or
and
when
like
they're
let's say
in,
you don't
so-
even have an aggressive play style in Destiny at all, then it's like, especially like PvP. Like let's say you like just to like stay back and you play quick play a lot. You never get there's like okay, well you never get the chance to enjoy these weapons, and that kind of sucks.
There's shit I
know.
missed out. There's quests I
Yeah.
still am like. oh, I need
But
to
like that,
finish
the other
this.
thing is the quests never go away.
Yep.
So they're always there, and you can always
Just
re-get
pick it
them
up and
back.
do it. I
and
still
then,
have
yeah.
all of mine stacked up pretty much.
So like it's and then you got to figure it out. But like, it's not their previous releases haven't been the best.
Yeah.
This may not be the best either, but it's at least showing us that they're willing to try to figure out something that works well for everybody, so everybody can experience it. And it's like maybe. And the perk on that one is a super cool perk. It's called Reverse of Fortune. And if you miss a shot in a couple seconds, the shot comes back. Okay, so it works indefinitely, right? However, it takes a certain amount of time for the shot to come back.
But okay, so let's recap here. It's like we have this opportunity starting tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Yep.
that any one of us can catch up real quick in this game.
Yep.
Me, who's sitting around 650 light, can catch up by the time that
40
the raid
light
launches
levels.
even.
40 light levels in probably under an hour.
Exactly. And so that's a way to stack everything for you and get things moving along and getting to start to play the new content.
And the new loot pools, though. We have
new loot pools,
new guns,
new items,
new other
everything,
guns.
new gameplay. A lot of adjusted items, so you're honestly not going to probably fall back onto all the ones you relied on. You're going to have, because of the new balancing, a lot of guns are going to be different. So especially a lot of, like you said, the old reliables for
we'll
for
talk about
raids
those
and
nerfs.
stuff.
We'll talk about the nerfs.
So
yeah.
so you're going to be playing new guns. You're going to get a new experience, but it's very easy to catch up to try the new experience tomorrow,
Right.
which now I can do.
Yeah, it's making it less daunting because they know that the 700 to 750 light grind is enough of a grind.
I don't have to worry about catching up on the previous season. I just need to play
if you
and
didn't
complete a few
if
challenges.
you didn't care about Gambit, then last season's just
Easy.
nothing. Yeah, it's nothing.
And so
you
you
missed
now
out
have
on the
all this
quest,
opportunity,
and they're just sitting there waiting for you.
But
so now you can
also
do
go
them whenever
back
you come
whenever
play.
you
Exactly.
want to catch
So
up.
you-
So it's like I can go get it. I can
It's
get
been a
into
shitty
this game all over
season
again.
in terms of like what the content had to offer. A couple of the guns were cool. They had some cool perks to them in there too. But like the Gambit, the main delivery, the main vessel was pretty
was just Gambit
underwhelming.
again,
Yeah,
slightly
it was pretty
different in a lot of
underwhelming.
ways.
Yeah,
So.
it was pretty underwhelming. And then they tried to disguise that with the invitation of the 9 and that other type of stuff too.
But man, that lore was fucking cool.
Yeah, the lore was super cool, but like the gameplay stuff was like, okay, you improved like the
Now just keep doing this
most
again.
uninteresting
I get what you
thing
mean
of
with that
it.
problem.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
So, but yeah, let's
Thanks,
talk about the nerfs here, and then we'll finish this up.
What did you rely on in the last season? It's nerfed.
Yeah, Whisper of the Worm nerfed into the ground. You get 18 rounds now, which is cool. But when you hit 3 shots, it's not going to just summon 3 bullets magically from thin air.
It's gonna take.
It's going to take them from your
But,
stock. So
I
you're
mean-
just getting a non-animated reload.
helpful.
If
They're
you just have
taking some shit away
freaking,
from you.
if you just have freaking outlaw on a sniper rifle, it's there. So that's weird. But they don't want people to use it as a crutch to solo stuff to basically melt their raid bosses in the raid that's dropping this tomorrow. So the Lord of Wolves, the shotgun, which absolutely melts, nerfed into the ground. Lace of Spades, the hand cannon that
The
melts.
sleeper. What are people gonna
merged
do in
into the
Gambit?
ground. It's the sleeper
Man.
nerfed into the ground.
What?
I think the sleeper was already nerfed.
They nerfed it a bit, but it was still
Yeah,
like
it was
a
still pretty
Gambit
bad.
sniper.
Yeah, so that's gonna be nerfed. Lord of the Wolves
Ace
nerfed.
of Spades,
Ace of
Skull
Spades.
of Dire,
Yes.
Akamara.
Nerfed.
Skull of Dire, Akamara, Orpheus Riggs, and Phoenix Protocol
Yep,
all got nerfed.
all getting nerfed.
Why are they nerfed for the Phoenix Protocol? That shit was nearly useless anyway. I guess it did charge you pretty quick.
Yeah.
It was like if you got 10 assists, you were full again.
Yeah,
And you had a super all over
it's just like
You're
the
right, you're
stuff
right.
that
You
you're
could
but the stuff that made it super fun, and you're like, I got to use this to make it that way, and then also
And
you know
in the
be
trailer,
aware of
they
it.
showed a lot of like smaller things. So like you're gonna be fighting swarms and stuff.
Yeah.
Where shit like that is how you can spam stuff.
Right,
like
and stay
Phoenix
alive. But
Protocol
now they
and-
want to use these perks. So they've introduced resist perks, which you have to get
Shards
through the
of
reckoning.
Galanor and Ursa Furiosa.
But like, yeah,
Gwyzinvest.
yeah, Gwyzinvest getting nerfed. Pretty much all the stuff that we love to use is getting nerfed.
Hopefully they.
And
keep
it's
some
the
buffs in
weapons is
there.
the big thing, though. The Whisper of the Worm is huge. It's just huge. It doesn't need to be nerfed. Like, you shouldn't build bosses that have huge crit spots. Make their crit spots smaller.
Move them around more.
Make
Put them on their
make
back.
Whisper of the Worm harder to handle. Make its stability less stable. Change its perks so it's a harder weapon to use. Don't change the entire thing about it that makes it a great thing to use. Nobody uses it because it's easy to aim. they use it because when they hit 3 fucking shots in a row that are crits, they're gonna get 3 magical bullets out of thin air. That's
Yeah.
why you use it. So
But
change
then-
the other things about
Hey,
it. But
remember
don't
how
change
we talked
that.
about PvP balancing and how that ruins
Yeah, but
some
like
of
if that
the
guy's
rest
a
of the
god, if that
experience,
guy's a god, let him
PvP.
be a god. I only
But
know 2 people that can do that.
That is game breaking.
I only know 2 people that can do it. You should break the game if you can hit 3 crit shots in under 9 seconds
Here's where their
on 3
concern
different
is, though,
guardians.
Is their concern is the skill gap, because they know that they're not controlling good players against shitty players, and shitty players are going to stop playing if all they do is get trolled by the god player, and the god player is a lot easier to be when you are a regular player and you're coming up across a bunch
Yeah,
of
I
randoms.
get it, but
So,
like
I'm
there's not that many god
I'm not
players
agreeing
that are
with
hitting
it. I'm just
snipes
pointing
like that.
out what they're saying.
No, I get it. What they're saying, they're
Nah,
just
but-
like they promised that they would be able to do stuff separately, and they're not. But anyways,
To have private
I'm not worried about it. I'm
balancing.
playing the season regardless. I think this season's going to be 1,000 times
And-
better than the last, and I played the last one a lot.
I'm
so,
happy it's easy for me to try this again.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
it's very easy for me to try this again. And guess who's
And-
got Tuesday off? Sam fucking does.
There you go. I'll be on half day, and then I got to go to work and bring home the bacon, and then I will be back on for another session. So I will
I'm gonna
be
wake up, take care of my animals.
I will
take care of
be
myself.
occupied when the raid launches and until about 3 hours or 4 hours into it, which I feel is perfect because it'll basically essentially give me the walkthrough for the first part, and then I'll just be caught up to where they're at.
There you go.
Because like I can do the hard part. Like I'm raid savvy enough to do raids from the beginning, with the puzzles and everything. But sometimes what it really comes down to is like the person's game sense of like how they deal with situations when they're just getting fucking just trashed by mobs, and like how well can you survive with a sliver of health?
How well can you think
You-
on
right,
your feet
right. So
to
like
figure one thing out while you're trying to
so
survive
like
another?
2 guys are maybe figuring the puzzle out even when you're in a raid party, because you don't want all 6 people really chatting in at the same time. It gets kind of annoying. You want like to have like a group conversation about it, and then like have some
A lot of
people
that
really try
naturally
to fig-
forms,
Yeah.
though.
You have like it's weird in raid parties. Like there becomes a natural, just someone becomes a leader in there.
You're on the
and
frontier.
no one says it, and
People
it's just like.
fill their positions as it happens.
But like
and,
people have to be
like,
called out for like their mistakes so they can understand how serious it is. It's like, dude, I'm not trying to be in here for 16 fucking hours.
I'm here to
and
fuck
not
this
get
up
it
till
done.
I get it right.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And we're really trying to get it right. So like, it gets pretty serious in there. And I have raided since D1 and Vault the Glass.
Well, I have
so
a
like,
personal goal to be able to do the raid when it opens tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to do
It's
it
not
too,
hard.
and I want to do a couple of the at least like I'm not trying to be world's first or finish
trying to
it
dick around
in
and figure
24
it out.
hours. But yeah, I'd like to get in there and get some of the stuff done and get some of the new loot and stuff like that for sure.
I heard there's
and,
all
and
that
like
gold
I always
California
have.
way. I'm gonna run out there, and even if I only go mining one day and find a little chunk of gold, it's worth it.
There you go. There it is. But yeah, that's my plan. So we'll be on tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Most of the day
Well,
probably.
Are you gonna be playing on PC though?
I think I'm gonna do a PC. I'm trying to think of what I should do.
Tough
I think
calls,
I'm gonna
tough
do a
calls. Well, I'm gonna be on
PC.
PlayStation when
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a PC.
I'm gonna bring my healer walk.
I think I'm gonna
back,
do
my
a
Radiant.
PC in the morning,
Mhm.
and then when I come back at night, I'll do
PC in the
PlayStation.
morning,
I'll do
PC
PlayStation.
in the evening,
Because-
pizza
and
at
then I'll
supper
just-
time. It's
'cause,
not a
like,
bagel.
Because like that way I could just run the raid whenever on my PC character, because I have to still get my PlayStation character to 700
Okay.
because I've only been
Yeah.
playing on PC.
I get that. I
Yeah.
get that.
So
So I mean I gotta do the rush catch up.
I
thing.
might switch that
So I'm gonna
too.
be
I don't
doing
know.
that,
So we'll see.
when I get on, and I have to like fucking learn Destiny.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe you're gonna
Yeah.
need those 4 hour that time.
That'll
in the,
probably be my. Well, that's the thing is I'm gonna do my catch up grind. That's
Yeah.
like go get some kills in PvP or in
Yeah.
the Crucible. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go fuck around in the Crucible and learn how to play again.
Yeah, just fly into
When
the tower.
I
Just fly into
figured
the tower
out
first.
when I knew the Radiance class when it first came out because
Yeah.
I was maining that, I could play Crucible with that no problem, even though people were having issues because I just knew how to play the build.
Yeah, but
It's
I
like
played that.
doing
I
that
played
again.
that. I actually made a warlock on PC and got him to 687.
And how great is that radiance?
And in PvP, I slam it down on people all the time. I've even
How great
I've even killed the guy's super.
a kill
Yeah.
from stabbing
I've
down
stopped the guy's
with the
super.
fucking sword.
Yeah, I've stopped his super from doing that. Titan came in all freaking
I've
void
gotten
out.
the kill you're
and I
talking
was
about
just like,
exactly.
"Chink!"
It was
and
a
he's like,
shield
and Shaq
Titan.
was like, ah.
Oh man, I've gotten one of those in Gambit.
But yeah,
The
I had
Invader
to
Titan, and I just got the stomp down on him
Nice.
like that, and
Yeah.
he was in his super. It was
Yeah, so I was using it in
Beautiful.
Gambit as well, and yeah, it was really dope.
Yeah.
For
Well,
sure.
anyways, I'm gonna relearn that class.
Yeah, relearn
I'm gonna
it.
get on my desk.
So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do PC in the morning, PlayStation in the evening, and Xbox in the afternoon. No, I'm just kidding.
What are you playing tonight?
I think I am going to run some Gambit because I need to try to get this reset.
Oh, okay.
Just for I haven't done a reset on my PC.
I got
there's
one
so many
reset,
but there's so
in
much stuff
the
I
last
still
season I
haven't
was
done on my
playing.
PC, so it's like so easy for me to go in and play because
Yeah.
like I could just like go in and mess around and like I get something huge accomplished.
I
You know.
am trying so hard to finish Red Dead Redemption 2 finally.
Yep.
I just finished the main story and I'm in the epilogue.
Nice.
Spoiler alerts? I don't know. Do you care?
No, at this point, no.
I know, exactly.
I played
Okay.
it. I played the hell
Okay,
out
so
of
you
it.
know how it ends and everything.
I didn't finish the very end, but I'm
Okay.
not really concerned with like being ruined because
About Arthur?
Yeah.
About what happens?
Yeah, I haven't seen the very end, but I'm not really worried about it.
Micah Bell, your favorite person. that
Yeah.
Fucking hate.
Yeah. He double crosses you. Yeah.
You have
I knew that.
multiple endings,
I
and
knew
he
that.
kills you in almost all of them.
I knew that for some reason. I knew
Oh.
that.
And then you come back as John because
Okay.
you saved John. And then the epilogue is you're playing as John and you hunt down Micah.
Okay. All
And you
right.
get the revenge.
That's pretty
So
cool.
I'm in the epilogue. I'm going to try and, I don't know how long the epilogue is, but I'm going to start pumping through that. See
Nice.
if I can finish it. Because then I get to delete that. And I'm going to install Spider-Man
Nice.
for my next game.
Dude,
Next game.
I actually need to. Yeah, I still need to beat Spider-Man. I played the hell out of it and then just fucking quit playing it. I just quit playing everything on PlayStation.
Dude, I've been watching a lot of stuff on my PlayStation and playing a shitload of Switch.
Yeah.
Either this For the King I played a lot.
Yeah.
And I only played on the easy level, and it was fun to like put in some time, figure it out. Now I'm playing on like one of the harder levels. There's 3 difficulties. There's
Nice.
3 settings.
Nice.
And like I just been watching shit on my PlayStation, and then I'm getting good at Smash.
Get good.
My
Get good. Arm.
Keep it up, man.
arm. Yeah, dude.
don't
Need to
get
this-
sloppy. We're on the show.
Need to get this arm stand of blue pill.
Right. Nice. No, I also like Smash. I've been getting my little Mac up real high. He got some buffs in this latest.
You were
one.
saying that
He needed that.
you wanted to make him your second alt.
He sucks so much in this game that if you get good with him, you're gonna be good with people.
Nice.
You can be good with others.
Nice.
Yes. And I'm hyped to see we got E3 coming up.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah,
So
pretty much
much
just
news
was
in that.
expecting a lot of E3 stuff, a lot of E3 coverage, a lot of
Our
Destiny
next
2
couple
coverage.
episodes are going to be covering it.
Yeah.
'Cause we'll have a lot of the
And,
announcements will be done by Monday.
Yeah.
And then the following week we'll have the Nintendo announcements and the other stuff.
Oh yeah.
So like
Yeah.
so much shit.
So
coming
yeah,
in the
so
next
stay
couple
tuned
weeks.
for that. We're gonna wrap the show up, but check us out on iTunes, The Plug Gaming on iTunes. Also, The Plug Gaming on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
You got that social media. We
All
got
of
that
it.
social media.
We on there. Check us out on DFZ Radio. That's where everything's uploaded first. And otherwise, that we'll see you next week. No Rocky to tell you he's the
Hey.
best, so we got away with that this week.
Well,
And Destiny 2, E3 for the future, The Plug Gaming, DFZ Radio, Dutch Massa out.
peace, y'all.